have ones on our childhood with her mom, but that was like recent. Princess, why are we here? He really doesn't remember anything about last night. I guess his memories must truly be separate from VARG's. I've been trying to remember, but my memories feel like they're slipping through my fingers. Why won't you talk to me, Princess? If I said or did something wrong yesterday, I'm sorry. You did not do anything wrong, Fritz. He was the one at fault, not you. He? When I open my mouth to tell him about VARG, I find that the words are stuck in my throat. I turn away after a few moments, the gloom settling back in my shoulders. After hearing what VARG said, I do not have the courage to tell him, not yet. You think Fritz is some great honorable knight. Well, if that was true, his intentions would need to be good to the core, and then you know what? I wouldn't exist. Can't make something from nothing. Some of your precious Fritz became me, Princess. There was already something dark and twisted in his soul. The curse just brought it to life, and now here I am. Why won't you look at me? Have I been a fool to so blindly trust Fritz all of this time too? Why are you doubting yourself? Princess, you are here. Sir Mithras, the preparations are complete. You are now free to enter your old home. Sir Mithras pushes open the gates and walks through. I take a deep breath and then follow after him. I have so many emotions inside of me right now that I cannot even begin to pierce through them. Before I can take a few steps forward, Fritz's fingers curl around my wrist. Princess, what is happening? The look in his eyes is familiar. He wears the same concern and worry for me that he always does. He seems every bit of himself, but he is no longer the same person to me. I'm going home, Fritz. I pull my arm away from his grasp and follow Sir Mithras into the palace without looking back. Chapter 6, Resurrection. Wow. Tell me the story again. Do you never tire of that story, love? Please? Well, since you asked so nicely. Once upon a time, there was a queen who had a daughter that she loved very much. But the kingdom the queen ruled was a cruel and mean place. The people were liars and thieves, and it was terribly dangerous. The queen knew that the kingdom would never be safe for her beloved daughter if she didn't work to change it. So the queen worked day and night with magic. Hush, dear. So the queen worked day and night and used her magic to take the bad people's energy from them so they couldn't cheat and steal and lie. And then the queen made sure that the energy would stay with her and her beloved daughter so nothing could harm them ever again. And the queen and her daughter lived happily ever after. There are 2 days remaining until my 18th birthday. I have been living in the palace for the last few months, and while it is not what I expected, it is not so dissimilar that I am uncomfortable. I get to stay in my own room and serve the same food as the occupants of the palace, only now am I not expected to share my meals with the king and his family. It was strange that nobody even asked who I am, not even the king, but that did not matter. What is important is that I am back in the palace. Only a witch like Sir Mithras could have orchestrated all of this. Magic was all I needed to bring you back here. Convenient, isn't it? Who exactly are you, Sir Mithras? What is a witch like you doing here in the palace? I'm your mother's... Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm your mother's faithful servant, your highness. But I do not recall ever seeing you here until after mother passed away. I did not work within the palace at the time, but once your mother passed, I took a job here to fulfill her wishes to protect you. I was consumed with worry when you disappeared all those months ago. I suspected immediately that you were cursed and that the Lucius Bearer had acted to keep you concealed from me. If only you could understood the relief I felt when I learned that Fritz had found you. How will you prove that you are not like the people in the marchand, that you will not lie to me or betray me? Sir Mithras kneels in front of me and places a hand over his heart. I made a promise to my queen that I would give you my undying loyalty, Princess. I would protect you with my life. Him saying that does little to convince me that I can trust him. Everything that I am doing is in service to my queen and my princess. So what is it that mother requires me to do? Patience. I wouldn't want to ruin the surprise. I don't like this at all. I don't like it. Sir Mithras claims he is mother's faithful servant. That should be enough reason for me to trust him, but I am still on edge. What is the surprise he has in store for me? My thoughts drift back to the occupants of the marchand. They kept saying that they cared about me, yet I've not heard from them at all. Even Rod, who lives here, I barely even see him, and Fritz. Since I returned to the palace, I've been seeing less and less of Fritz and more of VARG. In the beginning, I continually asked Fritz about his memories of specific days or the times when he was VARG. Fritz never seemed to recall anything. He just smiled at me sheepishly and told me that his age was probably making his memory worse. Fritz isn't even that old. Since then, things have changed. I no longer bother asking Fritz about things he surely does not remember. Fritz does not remember anything related to VARG. That is really interesting. Yet VARG retains all his memories as Fritz. I know I should tell Fritz about VARG, but it is a fear that he would not believe me, but also something much worse. I am worried that whatever it is inside of Fritz will only lash out at me. The part of him that VARG came from. If I were Fritz, I would not be able to believe it either. I looked toward my shelf of dolls, unable to shake my feelings of disquiet. The dolls are always the same, their glassy glazes focused on nothing and everything. It looks so empty without. No, I do not miss her. I do not miss anyone, right? The sound of footsteps pulls me out of my thoughts. Who else is wandering the halls at this time of night? I am unable to restrain my curiosity, and the emotion soon drives me from my room and out into the hallway. I gingerly follow the faded footsteps down the hallway, and there I see two familiar people. Sir Mithras and Sir 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵. I grow impatient. 2 days is an insignificant amount of time when you already waited so long. I have been waiting years. The princess is safe and will continue to be safe just as you have required. Our agreement was clear, Sir 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵. I will not help you until after the princess turns 18. I will remember that sort of aid you have requested of me. What prevents us from killing Gennaro now? A small gasp comes from my mouth, and I am not able to muffle it in time, despite the fact that I hold my hands up to my lips to keep myself from shouting. I stop breathing even as my mind whirls. Kill the king? Why would Sir 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐿 and Sir Mithras want to do that? That sound. Do not try to distract me. What do we lose by acting now? We could lose everything if we act too hastily. I think it would do you good to learn some patience from your son. VARG. Sir 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐿. VARG, what a pleasant surprise. Mithras smirks as VARG moves to stand just off to the side of the two men, his expression solemn. I trust that you have tamed Fritz. What are you talking about? You haven't noticed? Even when your own son is being overwhelmed? VARG is getting control slowly but surely. Oh no. He no longer has to wait for Fritz's conscience to descend into sleep. In a few weeks, perhaps days, VARG may be able to help us during the day. That is why I've only seen VARG at night. He can act during the day as well. If he can act during the day as well, what will happen to Fritz? I hope you're not trying to avoid your mission and staying here. How curious. Perhaps Fritz is stronger than you think. That weakling? Don't make me laugh. I just find this extremely boring. VARG shrugs before walking away. How interesting. I do not approve of his methods. What would you have me do to improve him? He completes every task you give him. He has softened. Well, let us see if he completes this task. And then we will know for certain where his loyalties lie. What task? Oh my god. As Sir Mithras and Sir 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐿 begin to walk away, I exhale. I feel a slight shudder when Sir Mithras stops and gazes behind him, his eyes wandering to my hiding place at the end of the hallway. My heart thumps loudly in my ears as I wait to hear him leave. The wind has a bitter chill to it tonight, like ice. Ooh. Mithras turns on his heels with a slight twitch of his lips before he disappears. I make my way back to my room in a daze. My whole body feels weak, and when I eventually get to my bed, I crash down on it feeling numb. They mean to kill the king, but why? Sir 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐿 and Sir Mithras are two of his most trusted advisors. What could the king have done to make them desire his death? And why does Sir Mithras want to wait until I'm 18? What happens then? Does this have to do anything with that gift he was talking about? Does Sir Mithras plan on using me for something? I clench my hands into fists and inhale sharply. I think of the other things that came up in conversation. They said that VARG might be able to act during the day soon. Does this mean Fritz will disappear? My breath catches in my throat at the thought. Princess, there's no need to look at me like that. It's my job to know you, Princess. And right now I know something's not right. It is your job to protect me. Knowing me is a very different thing. Princess, please, perhaps you should worry more about yourself. My job as an knight is to protect my charge, to put their life before mine. If I can't protect you, how can I call myself a knight? Fritz reaches out as if to touch me, but I shrink away. Do not touch me. Sorry, Princess, please know I'm always here if you need to talk. If Fritz disappears, what will happen? I almost jump when I hear someone shouting just outside my door. Quickly, Emmeline. Rod? I quickly stand up and move toward my door, pulling it open to catch a glimpse of the outside. I end up opening the door into Rod's face. He comes to an abrupt stop and glares at the door that blocks his straight path. His hand is outstretched as if meant to reach for my door. Rod? Emmeline? It's so late. What are they doing out of the room? Rod's fingers tighten over Emmeline's hands. They both look exhausted and Emmeline is on the verge of tears. What is happening? Rod seems to consider something before he finally comes to a silent conclusion. His eyes glare right into mine. Get out of the way. Rod's voice is colder than usual, even for him. Emmeline's eyes widen as she stares at him in shock. Rod, but I thought, this isn't the time. So here's where the rabbits escaped. VARG? VARG is slowly making his way over to us. His posture relaxed, expression indifferent. He does not look winded. Well, this is a complication. Help them. Is this the minstrel Castor was referring to? Rod tugs at Emmeline's wrist to prompt her into motion, but the two of them are too slow. In one swift movement, VARG has circled them and tripped Emmeline, toppling her to the floor. VARG moves forward to grab her, but before he can do so much as touch her, I jump into action, pushing VARG from the side. I move to stand between Emmeline and VARG. I can hear Rod helping his sister up, but my eyes are trained on VARG. What are you going to do, though? Why do you care? Why do I care? Because I know this isn't something Fritz would do. VARG hesitates, giving Rod time to act. Rod throws a veil that breaks upon impact with the floor. It releases a cloud of smoke that envelops everything around it. I feel someone's fingers at my wrist, and then I'm being dragged away. When my vision clears, I see Emmeline standing before me, holding my wrist tightly. Come on, what was that? It is something Lady Parfait made for our escape. Did you really think the Martian would give up on you? We must move. We run toward the palace tunnels, a place I have not visited in many years. I thought they barricaded this. Not quite. Do you think we've lost him? No, not yet. Emmeline turns to me, her eyebrows drawn over her eyes in a look of sympathy. I'm so sorry you got caught up in this. I know that we were all meant to escape together according to Rob, but we were not expecting it to be like this. It was difficult to get a hold of you with VARG hanging around, but thank you for what you did back there. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't helped us. I am suddenly uncomfortable speaking to her, so I turn to face Rod instead. What does VARG want with you? My best guess is that he wants us dead. That can't be. How else would you explain the way he came after us, Em? But why would he want you dead? Rod's bright eyes seem fiercer in the darkness of the tunnels. I think it must be what his master wants. After all, dogs only respond to orders. Oh god, I'm offended, Prince. You! I whirl around, dread rising in my chest as I turn to look at VARG, who is slowly catching up to us. This was meant to be quick. VARG looks at me, his eyes glaring with amusement. But as always, you complicate things, Princess. I cannot hide how much I am trembling, but I still hold out my arm to protect the siblings. Go. Not without you. Go now. Come on. I turn to VARG as the two flee. My body tenses as I wait for VARG to move. I will stop her, or at least buy them some more time. But VARG remains still as a statue. He remains rooted to the spot. I have no idea how long we stand there frozen in place. You never cease to amaze me. So what's going to happen now? Were you going to kill them? He's not answering. Does that mean I am right? Is this what Sir Castor ordered you to do? Why else would I be here if not for an order? Why would he want you to kill Rod and Emmeline? Why does he want to kill the king? You overheard quite a bit, huh? Probably a little more than you should have. The tension in the air becomes palpable and it becomes harder to breathe. VARG's fingers tighten on his cane. He wouldn't hurt me, would he? VARG moves, and for a few moments I am frozen with terror. Then a word I have forgotten long ago suddenly comes to my lips unbidden. A word that Fritz once told me before. 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐿. This time it is VARG that freezes. He raises his cane, but it never comes down. What did that do? His eyes are wild, even though he hasn't moved. Suddenly, he looks as if he is restraining himself. I can see the struggle on his contorted expression, and then I realize he is fighting to stay in control. It worked. I remain still for another moment, my mind racing. Fritz! VARG drops to his knees, and I see shadows forming beneath him. Tendrils of darkness snake their way up to his body, beginning to engulf him. This is what happened last time when he changed back into Fritz. There is still awareness in VARG's eyes, however. His gaze is cold and accusatory. It remains that way even as the shadows creeps their way up to his face. I find my feet again and rush past VARG into the depths of the palace. I run, too frightened of what I might find if I look back. Ooh. Are you alright? If you are truly worried for my safety, then you should have told the king how unsafe it is for me to leave the palace. Isn't that a nice job, Sir Fitzgerald? Do you have so little faith in me? What? Don't you trust me to keep you safe, Princess? 3 years ago, when I swore that I would give my life for yours, I meant it. I still do. I would never let anything harm you, ever. Perhaps I need to make another promise to you, Princess, so that I may ease your worries. Remember this carefully, okay? 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐿. What does that mean? It's from an old language that no one speaks anymore. It's what people used to say when they were calling for help. Something to call when I need help. If for any reason I'm not there and you need me, just say that word. Scream me at the top of your lungs if you need to. I promise I'll come running. A knight would never break a promise to his lady. Trust in me. I have to go. I have been awake for hours, unable to sleep. I stand at my window waiting for anything to happen, but all is still beyond the glass window pane. I have no idea what I ought to do. What is going to happen now? Should I tell someone? I return to the palace because my room still feels like the safest place, but why? Am I here because I feel like I need to tell the king what happened? Because I hope that Fritz will return? I do not even know if the king is still here. I haven't seen him at all. My hand instinctively reaches out for my necklace, and I realize that there is an additional piece. We got our first deed! I look down and a small gasp escapes my lips when I notice a new piece of the glass slipper. A new piece of the slipper. But how? Was that my good deed? I remember that night I helped Rod and Emily escape from VARG. That was a good deed? Fritz? Princess? Fritz? I've been looking for Prince Rod and Princess Emily. Have you seen them? My eyes are beginning to sting. I am startled when I realize there are tears burning my eyes. What's wrong? VARG is getting control slowly but surely. He no longer has to wait for Fritz's consciousness to descend into sleep. In a few weeks, perhaps even days, VARG may be able to help us during the day. Can I even trust Fritz now? Yes, you can! Fritz looks at me with worry clear on his face. He draws closer to me, his hand reaching out for me. Oh my god. I pull back immediately, my breath caught in my throat. Princess. For a moment, I just saw a VARG. What is going on? Will he believe me if I'm straightforward? You need to tell him. You need to tell him. You need to tell him. Something's been wrong ever since we returned to the palace. Princess, please, Fritz clenches his hands into fists. His face twists with obvious pain. Please, let me help you. Why are these the options? Doubt him? I doubt you can. My chest begins to ache and my heart feels heavy. You'd never believe me. There's a certainty in Fritz's eyes that was not there before. He looked at me with fierce determination. Try me. I sigh and rub my hand over my eyes. You are cursed. His silence is all the response I need. I knew this was happened. I knew he still wouldn't believe me. Princess, we talked about this before, but what exactly are you seeing that makes you so firmly believe that? I eye him warily. Will he really listen to me? You are cursed with an alternate personality, a cruel one. I've known him for months now. VARG, well, you, Fritz, were going to kill Rod and Emily last night. He reaches out to rest his hand atop mine on the windowsill. His determination has dwindled into uncertainty. You don't believe me. I believe you, Princess. I can see in your eyes, Fritz, you doubt me. I do not doubt you, Princess. I am just confused. How could I not know about the existence of an alternate personality, or about a curse inflicted on me? I pull my hand away from him and cross to the other side of my room, so that my bed acts as a barrier between us. But VARG knows you. How is it possible that VARG is so aware of you when you do not even know he exists? I begin to pace my emotions whirling. And how am I to trust you when you won't even trust me? I knew you weren't going to believe me. How could I have been so stupid to think that you would? Princess. He begins to move toward me, but I stop him in his tracks with a single glare. Don't. Silence descends upon my room. When I finally look at Fritz again, the man I see is a stranger. Gone is the Fritz that I once knew, and standing in his place is nothing but a shadow. I thought he'd be different. He showed me so much kindness and pretended to care, and yet, Mother was right. Mother was always right. I feel a dull ache in my chest as I turn on my heels and to look away from Fritz. This is what happens when you put your trust in someone. This is what happens when you begin to believe in others. Aww. I gasp when I feel strong arms wrap around me from behind. I can feel Fritz's warm breath against the back of my neck. It sends shivers tumbling down my spine. Let me go, Fritz. No. I order you to let me go. But Fritz only tightens his grip. While the warm embrace is suffocating, it is oddly comforting. What? Sorry, Princess, I cannot be ordered to leave you like this. I swore an oath to you and made a promise to myself that I would always stand by your side. No matter how much you push me away, I will always be here for you. From the day I was assigned to you, I saw how much you suffered. That's why I will protect you with everything that I am. I bite my lip as I struggle to keep myself from crying. How can I trust Fritz's words when VARG has done nothing but cause suffering to everyone around me? But it seems like I have also been the one to cause you so much pain. He loosens his arms until I am no longer within his embrace. I suddenly feel cold and empty, but I do not move towards Fritz again. His voice is very soft when he speaks again. I'm sorry. I do not look up when he leaves. You cannot rely on anyone but yourself. You cannot trust anyone but yourself. How can I have forgotten that? This route is like insane. It's up and down, like up and down, up and down. Woo. If I had been able to have my way, I would not have left my room at all. After everything that has happened, I do not think I want to know what Sir Mithras' request is. I am also worried about the so-called wonderful gift he wants to show me. Perhaps he means to kill me along with the king. Surely I should be more alarmed at this penny. Yet for some reason I only feel numb. Hi, VARG. I do not acknowledge VARG when he enters the room. Princess. I'd ask what you're thinking about, but it's written all over your face. That, and I happen to have memories of it too. Poor Princess, your knight in shining armor turned out to be less of a hero than you thought. Stop it. Hurts, doesn't it? Well, I did tell you. I wonder why you're so surprised. VARG, you... I think you are annoying our Princess VARG. Sir Mithras' presence for once is actually a relief. He bows to me, but I no longer believe the smile on his face. Princess, you have my most sincere thanks for agreeing to meet me at such late notice. What is it that you want to show me, Sir Mithras? Actually, answer me this first, as it has been troubling me for some time. Why do you want to kill the king? I see we have much to talk about. Let us walk and talk if you do not mind. Sir Mithras looks at VARG. Do not disturb us, VARG. VARG disappears back into whatever shadow he had emerged from as Sir Mithras and I make our way back into the hall. It seems my suspicions were correct. You did overhear our caster night the other night, didn't you? Princess, I must assure you that I have nothing but your best wishes at heart. It is not that I wish to remove your father from power. That is Sir Alcaster's desire. Is that what Jurian spoke of all those months ago? Did she discover 𝐶𝐸 motive only to be discharged from the order as a result? Why did you agree to help him? I required 𝐶𝐸's assistance for certain things. It was a mutually beneficial decision for both of us to work together. But do not worry, I never had any intention of going through with your father's murder. Is this why you were delaying him until after my birthday? Sir Mithras' smile is almost genuine. My princess is wise, just like her mother. I realize that Sir Mithras has led me to the secret tunnels. Where are you taking me now? My princess is also impatient, just like her mother. The impudence of this man. You said VARG answered to you, but he also carries out 𝐶𝐸's orders. It was 𝐶𝐸's desire to take over Angielle as cleanly as he could. He sought to accomplish that by killing all those with a claim to the throne, Sir Rod and Emily. But I was never going to let him kill you. In exchange for ensuring your safety, 𝐶𝐸 required, among other things, a servant, so I provided him with one. 𝐶𝐸 needs someone that can remain close to him, hidden in plain sight, so to speak. He also required that they have the skills of a trained knight. Sir Fitzgerald was capable of guarding my princess, but he was not as capable of carrying out 𝐶𝐸's other orders. But why go to such lengths to curse Fritz, princess? Sir Mithras focuses his intense gaze on me. Something different and bright shimmers in his eyes. I shrink back. Any threat to your life had to be removed. Besides, I am under the impression that your loyal knight would be happy to sacrifice a part of himself in order to become the perfect guardian. What do you gain from doing all this? I require something from you, something only you can provide. It is something I had to wait for, as you need to be 18 in order to give it to me. I have been preparing this gift for you for a long time, my princess. It is the gift of resurrection. I will bring back the queen! What? Will you help me? Mother is dead. Mother is dead. Only in name. Mother has been dead for years. If she had been alive, I would have known. Your mother sustained great injuries during the Great War. She needed time to heal. Then where has she been, and why would she pretend to be dead? Why would she leave me alone? Your mother is sleeping, and you are the only one that can wake her. Why me? My princess, you are the heir to more than just the kingdom of Angielle. Queen Hilda was the bearer of the Crystallum Tenebrarum, one of the two Crystallum of Angielle. What? As her daughter, you are the next bearer. You are destined to be a great witch, just like your mother. My mother, a witch? Impossible! It is the truth. You were so young then, my princess, and the world was so cruel to you. Why do I not remember any of this? The queen sought to protect you and shrouded your memories of the pain you suffered at the hands of the humans. Is this why the people of Angielle despise and fear me? But once you turn 18, you will inherit the full abilities of the Tenebrarum bearer. With that power, we can revive your mother. Is this not what you've been dreaming of since you lost her? I dared not even this dream was possible. For so many years, all I wanted was for mother to return to me. But now? No, I cannot falter. Mother was the only person I could trust. She is still the only person who loves me. I have made my decision. Tell me what I must do. Sir Mithras smiles and steps aside. Behind him is a large rusty door. Come with me. Mother! She is still as beautiful as the day she became one with the Tenebrarum. Sir Mithras reveredly strokes his hand across the Tenebrarum as if caressing Mother's face. These last 4 years I've come to visit her as much as I possibly can, but I cannot wait to see her beauty grace the halls of the palace once more. Sir Mithras turns to me. Place your hands on the Tenebrarum. Wait, before I do this. Sir Mithras, you said you have no desire to kill the king. Yes. Swear to me that you will not allow 𝐶𝐸's plan to succeed. Swear that you will protect the lives of the royal family. I do not wholly understand why I'm asking this of Sir Mithras, yet a part of me feels compelled to do so. I may not see him much as my family, but they have done nothing to deserve death. My princess, swear it. Very well. I swear I shall not allow 𝐶𝐸 to kill any of the royal family. The clock tower chimes, the bell echoes in the chamber, the sound dull and eerie. Sir Mithras' eyes flash as he gestures his hand wildly. Now, princess, now! The air in the room becomes cold, so cold I actually feel my body becoming like ice. Something is wrong. This does not feel right. I try to move away, but my attempts are thwarted by some kind of magical force. The 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐸𝐻 is pulling me toward it. Sir Mithros? It is too late to turn back now, princess. No! The pull is strong. I am drawn to it like a magnet. The invisible force renders me a puppet. It takes hold of my body and forces me to raise my hands to the crystallum. I press my palms against the face of the 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐸𝐻, my hands framing my mother's face. Her expression is gentle in her unnatural sleep. The 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐸𝐻 is freezing beneath my fingers at first, but it slowly begins to warm as the clock continues counting down to 12. The warmer the 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐸𝐻 grows, the colder my body feels. It feels like it is sapping all of my energy, like the 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐸𝐻 is feeding off me. Wow. The pain starts slowly, it creeps up and out until it is flooding my entire body. I attempt to twist my body away from the 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐸𝐻 surface, but my hands are stuck. I turn to Sir Mithros for help, but there is nothing but crazed glee in his smile. Yes, yes! His eyes are focused on the crystalline form of my mother. He tricked us! I become dimly aware of the tears that are beginning to fall from my eyes. I cannot go on like this. My vision starts to blur until I feel myself falling to endless darkness. Mother? Yes, my sweet? What are you doing? I am planning, dearest one. Mother has to be ready for when she takes over Angielle. But doesn't father rule Angielle? Oh, sweet. Father will soon be too tired to rule. Mother will rule for him, and when you are grown, you shall follow in my footsteps. I will make Angielle a kingdom to behold, my darling. You will never be hurt, and no one shall deny you anything. The people will bend to your whim and will behave as they ought to. There will be no bad people. No, dearest one, there will be no bad people in our kingdom. I will make sure of that. Wow. Chapter 7, Perspective. I think that's what it says. I don't know. Opening my eyes and moving, my body is a struggle. I feel sluggish and numb, and there is a suffocating heat in my chest that makes it difficult to breathe. When I finally do rise, my thoughts are tangled and confused. Where am I? She lives. Oh, hi VARG. You don't have your mask on. I turn my head just in time to see VARG rise from a chair just to the side of my bed. Has he been sitting there watching me? And he is not wearing his mask. What are you doing here? You've been out for a week, princess. A week. I think I would know how long you've been playing Sleeping Beauty. After all, I've been here the whole damn... VARG quickly clears his throat before gazing down at me, an exasperated expression on his face. Why are you saying my chat? Sorry, not y'all. It's my friend, he's bothering me. Do you even remember what happened? Memories suddenly flowed through my mind. They are fragments, but together they create a startling picture. Sir Mithros in a room, 12 chimes of the clock, my 18th birthday, the 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐸𝐻, and Mother! Instead of Millie, only to succumb to a whiff of nausea and dizziness. Much to my surprise, VARG reaches out to steady me, his grip firm and gentle. Slow down, princess. You're not ready to fight me yet. What time is it? Almost dawn. Will he become Fritz again in a few hours, or have I lost Fritz forever? Would you believe me if I told you Fritz doesn't want to see you? The awareness of my last conversation with Fritz hits me full force. After what happened the last time we spoke, I'm not surprised that Fritz does not want to see me. Okay, now I'm turning this down. He was too ashamed to face you. I had no idea Fritz would react the way he did to your words. I have most of his stronger memories, not all of them, but most. I thought he had most of mine too, but I guess that's not the case. What memories do you have? That's none of your business. The expression on his face is clouded. For a few moments he is silent and thoughtful. In the beginning they were mostly of you. What? VARG glances away. I notice the way his fingers drum uneasily on his cane and stare. I've never seen VARG like this. Look like this. I carefully slide my way over to the edge of my bed, allowing my feet to dangle to the floor. Fritz cares for you, princess. Take my word for it if no one else's. Why is he suddenly telling me all this? Will I ever see him again, or has he lost to you? VARG flinches back from me, taking a few steps back to put some distance between the two of us. I can't say. I watch VARG closely. I'd never noticed before, but VARG's emotions are very clear if you know what to look for. Press him. You cannot say or you won't say. Princess. The gentleness which he says my title makes me think of Fritz. However, just as I am waiting to hear Fritz's voice through him, his demeanor changes once again. The vulnerable man disappears and is replaced by the usual facade. VARG straightens and glares at me. He displays his confidence to hide his true emotions. It seems like he wears two masks. You are more like Fritz than you would care to admit. Fritz would never harm me. VARG snarls, but he no longer intimidates me. Fritz this, Fritz that. All you ever do is talk about that idiot, even though I've been the one by your side this entire time. Fritz is nothing compared to me. Then why do you feel threatened by him? My words render VARG speechless. I dimly notice the patterns of red dawn scatter across my room. The sun is almost up. I look back at VARG, my eyes seeking Fritz. VARG moves, his eyes fierce as he closes the distance between. What? How do you... Oh my god! What? Excuse me, what is going on? Oh my god! VARG presses his lips to mine, effectively stifling the rest of the word. I have only moments to gasp out for breath before VARG kisses me again more deeply. I raise my hands to push him away for a brief second as my mind hazes over in shock. Oh, he likes us. He likes me. VARG takes advantage of my confusion and moves forward again, an unreadable expression in his eyes as he leans over me. I try to pull away, but VARG tangles his hand in my hair, tilting my head back to press his lips firmly against mine once more. No, this is not right. I tremble as his arm swipes down my back and eventually comes to rest at my waist. Why is he kissing me? He doesn't even like me. Anger clears my mind. I ball my hands in a fist and shove at VARG's chest. His eyes are bright and out of focus when I am able to look into them. His chest betrays his labored breathing. I wipe the back of my hand against my mouth as I glare at VARG. I do not trust myself to speak without screaming at him. Coherence slowly starts to filter back into his gaze. I can see the awareness in his gaze along with guilt. I suddenly realize that my cheeks are not wet with tears. Why am I crying? VARG takes a step toward me. Even though he does not utter a single word, I can see from his body language that he means to apologize. He reaches a hand out as if to touch my face. No! I move back and close my eyes. How do you have Lucette? What just happened? Oh my god. I open my eyes when I hear the familiar voice and watch as Fritz quickly rushes to my side and kneels in front of me. His hands cup my face as his thumbs brush against my cheeks, wiping away the tears that I cannot stop. What'd he do, Princess? Fritz. I suddenly feel overwhelmed, like there's too much whirling in my mind. I'm not sure how long we sit there together. It feels short, like a single moment, but it could have been an eternity. I'm sorry, Princess. I shake my head in an attempt to clear my fractured thoughts. Fritz frowns, but the expression clears as he brushes my hair away from my face. His fingertips gently trace my cheek as he speaks. I failed as your knight. I should have never left you alone that night. I could have stopped all this from that happening. All I've done is cause you pain. No! And this past week has been hell. I didn't know if you'd wake up or if I would be able to be with you when you did. He looks at me, his expression grim, and I wasn't there when you did. VARG was. You finally know about him? Fritz nods as he gives me a pained smile. No apology could ever be enough to excuse what I did to you. I doubted you that night because I thought what you were saying was impossible. I wondered how I could break the curse, or how I could be cursed without knowing it. But now, I hate myself for treating you the way I did. I must have put you through so much suffering because I did not believe you. You know, I've never been worthy of you, but now I have betrayed the trust you had in me. He drops his hands and pulls away from me. I don't think I have the right to be calling your name. No, you do. Stop doubting yourself, please. Like, it's literally fine. Like, we all know you weren't gonna believe us. I reach out and grab his hand without thinking. Don't say that. Fritz looks at me in shock. His wide-eyed gaze only makes me feel more embarrassed, and I'm focused to keep from floundering. Wait, what did she say? Don't say that. Yeah. After a long moment, Fritz manages to smile at me. It is small but genuine. I don't deserve your kindness. Kindness? Is that what this is? We sit together in silence for some time, enjoying each other's calming presence. My room is quiet as the sun steadily starts to rise. Do you know what has happened during the last week? I'm afraid not. I wasn't myself for most of it. He is fading even faster now, and just when I feel that I've truly started to know him. I've already told you about the disappearance of the prince and princess, but it seems like the queen has gone missing as well. Ophelia is missing? Oh my god. I can only hope that they made it out alive and that Rod led them back to the marchand. There they will be safe. I did not think I would ever trust anyone there, and I still don't, but Parfait said that the marchand is in place evil cannot overtake. And whether or not VARG is truly evil, his mission is to kill them. I can at least be sure Parfait will protect them. King Gennaro is still here, but he is different. He is not himself. And what happened? It's your mother. The day you fainted, that same morning, your mother returned? What? I can only stare at Fritz in shock, knowing that what happened that night wasn't just a dream. Everyone in the castle is acting as if nothing is wrong. It's like the last 4 years haven't happened. But the instant I saw her, I recognized her. And after that, well, I don't remember what came next. My next conscious moment was today when I saw you. Aww. Fritz raises his hand as if to touch my face, but he abruptly pulls it away. He flinches and doubles over, his face contorting with pain. No, not now. I won't let you. His eyes are cloudy, his gaze turned inward. He is speaking to the other side of himself that I cannot see. I reach out to him and try to call him back. Fritz! He looks up at me and attempts a sad smile. He is trying to make it seem like he's fine. When he speaks, it is through gritted teeth. I'll never let him hurt you. Can you trust me about that at least? Yes. Lucette. The shadows dance around him almost tauntingly at first, then they simply engulf him and Fritz disappears into darkness. I take a step back. I hate to interrupt you again. I snarl at him, but VARG merely shrugs. He looks indifferent, as if what transpired between us before never happened. I have things to do today. VARG turns away and walks briskly out of my room without glancing back. I make my way through the hallways of the palace, determined to find Sir Mithras. Over the past few months, I have been all but invisible to the people in the palace. It allowed me to pass undisturbed. I had always figured it was because no one remembered who I was with my curse, but today things are different. A maid sweeping the hallways jumps at the sight of me before quickly courtesying. Your Highness. Her eyes are downcast and she does not look up at me as I passed her. As I walk past her, two other servants heading in my direction also move to the side of the hallway. Your Highness. Your Highness. They remember who I am now? But how? Has my curse somehow been broken? I've spent the entire morning searching for Sir Mithras, but he is nowhere to be found. The only room I have yet to search is the throne room. Oh no. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna see her mom. I push open the doors and walk inside. There I am met with an unexpected sight. Oh, or not. The king sits on his throne, his posture regal, but his eyes downcast. Your Majesty? He does not look up when I enter, but I can see that his eyes are steady and moving. I approach him cautiously, and upon closer look, I notice how his eyes look so empty. It's almost as if he cannot see me. I inhale and something catches in my throat. My heart begins to beat rapidly. What have they done to you? My princess. Oh, hi. Yeah, you know, we've been looking for you. I roll around and see Sir Mithras approaching me with a smile. Where did he come from? I could have sworn there was no one else here when I entered. Sir Mithras. I was just on my way to see you. VARG just told me you had awakened. What is wrong with the king? Physically, there is nothing wrong with him at all. Anger begins to burn within me. You swore that you wouldn't harm him. Is he not alive, my princess? Take a good look at him. The king is completely unharmed. The change in Sir Mithros' expression is subtle, but I can feel the malice in his gaze. I should add that it was difficult to keep this promise, princess. My queen will be having words with you about this. Mother? Where is she? She has left the palace for the time being. You have been unconscious for a week. My queen cannot spend every moment fretting by your bedside. But didn't VARG say he was the one to stay by my side? I shake the thought from my mind. When will I be seeing her? At dinner, I assume. Now, that's all. Wait. Sir Mithros pauses abruptly to look at me. The servants I met in the hallway seem to remember me. How? You really cannot guess? He sighs as he runs a hand through his hair. When you turned 18 and became the tenement bearer, the curse that the lesser witch cast on you broke. What? Moments before your mother woke, you were the strongest witch in all of Angielle. A lesser's witch spell could not have any effect over you. Congratulations, princess. You are no longer a victim of the curse.